So I'm here with Shaine, and he has an amazing true life success story. He's been in the United States for more than 30 years. He floundered around with several different law offices until he found us here at Spar Bernstein. And we are here today to congratulate him because just 3 days ago, he was mailed his green card after living here out of status for over 30 years. Shaine, welcome to Brad Show Live. And I know you have an amazing story to tell everybody. So let's start by saying congratulations to you.
Thank you.
It was a very, very long journey that you had. And how's it feel now?
Oh, I'm so elated, excited, and even right now my hands are still sweating, holding on to the envelope that came to me.
And you have the green card sitting right there.
Right
You're
here.
not letting it go. You brought it right into the studio,
Not
right?
leaving my sight, not
That's
at all.
right.
Yes.
So you came, where are you originally from, Shaine?
Originally, I'm from Jamaica.
You're from Jamaica. So when did you come to the United States of America? What year?
I came in, Hurricane Gilbert happened the Monday, and I came the Thursday. I left the Thursday.
What year is this?
1988, I believe.
1988.
Yes.
How old were you? Were you a young man
I
back
was
then?
a
Were you a
young
boy?
man. I was a young man.
How old were you at the time?
I think I was about 19 or 20.
19 or 20
So
years
I
old.
forgot how old I was.
So, how was life in Jamaica before you came?
Actually, life was kind of good. I was working in hotel industry. I lived with my aunt and uncle in Montego Bay, and
I like Montego Bay. All
it's-
the hotels
it's-
are there.
Yes,
Right.
and working in the industry
Right.
was like, life is grand. You go to the beach and you go to work and you go wherever you want, and that's it.
So what made you choose as a 19, 20-year-old man? You're just starting out in life. You got presumably a decent job. What made you first decide to come to America?
Being in Jamaica, having a great job, and everything, I did go try to get a visa in Kingston at the embassy, and I was turned down. So I didn't think about it. I just said, you know what, I'll just live my life. So when the hurricane happened, when Hurricane Gilbert happened, and I saw the devastation,
Well, the hotels shut down.
all the hotels
You had
and
no
everything,
job.
I was like, I can't stay here. I can't stay here.
So how'd you get to America? What'd you do?
The airport was closed, and I said to myself, regardless of what happened, the first flight out, I'm gonna be on that plane. Now, as a God-fearing person and a person who used to go to church every day, I asked God for guidance, for strength and health to go through the whole way.
When you flew to America and you got off the plane in America, what did you do at the airport?
I've never been to the United States before, and I've never flown on a plane before, so it was a matter of worrying. I'm like worried sick. What do I do? So what I just something told me, when you get off the plane, of course, because this was Chicago O'Hare Airport, one of the largest airports in the United States, the plane doesn't just fly and come to the terminal. It actually has a bus that would then transport you to the terminal. So I saw the bus, I went on the bus with everyone else.
You couldn't do that now.
Exactly.
There's no way you could do that
Exactly.
now. Now your journey really began because it took you 30 years to get a green card. What happened?
The hard part, whereas you get here and you're thinking, how are you going to start a new life? There are people that you meet and they tell you, be careful who you speak to, be careful who you tell your situation to, and so on. I kind of knew my way around the kitchen. I had dreams and aspirations of being an actor. I went into that a little. I worked at a few restaurants here and there in the city.
How did you survive?
The Caribbean community is very close-knit, and someone who basically I met in Chicago, they basically drove me from Chicago to New York, and introduced me to people that they knew here, and I stayed with them, and that's how I ended up.
How'd you survive year by year?
Year by year, it's just whatever job I could get. At a gas station, you pump gas, working at a restaurant, cook,
clean the
open up
dishes,
everything.
delivery, everything.
Wash up pots bigger than me, I could hide in the pots, yes.
What did you do, if anything, to try to make a better life for yourself here?
Well, I knew that getting yourself legal was important, and they said you gotta be married now based on what the laws are. You gotta be married to get that happen. But being brought up in my Christian way of life, I was thinking, oh no, I don't want to get married for that. I just want to get married for the right reasons, and one time. So in somebody that I met in Chicago who came to New York, wanted to go about, wanted to be with me, and I tried to show the person, look here, you don't have to want to marry to me, because while working in the restaurant industry, I've done so well that I've worked at restaurants like Sylvia's in Harlem, opened up Olive Garden in Times Square, played a few extra parts in some movies, and that person actually went to the movie and saw me, and then came to New York with roses and said she's not leaving New York until we get married.
So you were proposed to by a woman?
Yes, and we went to City Hall right here.
Right. And when was this?
I think it was in August of 1999, I believe.
All right, so, and this is the same woman you're married to this day?
No.
Okay, what happened?
No. The lawyer that we went to get the paperwork started, apparently the person would send it, the information from we filed would be sent to the home. But this person would hold on to the paperwork.
The wife?
The wife would hold on to the paperwork.
So she was trying.
And would use it against me.
So she basically was using her power of being a citizen over your need for a green card,
yes.
and abusing you in that sense.
And I had no idea what the laws are or whatever.
So what happened with that marriage?
Well, eventually we had to divorce, but
and you
never
got a green
card.
No,
because the lawyer called me and was like, "What happened? You didn't go to the interview." I'm like, "I didn't know what interview." Then they were like, "It was sent to you," and so on. So, in trying to get things started and knowing what was happening, because we already had, this person was like, "If we got to get a house," and I had to make sure I get a house with them, and this person didn't have a job, and I worked at Morgan Stanley, and Sylvia's at the same time. We got the house in Long Island. And
what were you doing at Morgan Stanley?
I was working as a conference room coordinator.
Uh-huh.
And when I saw how some of these establishments work and their lawyers and attorneys, I was like, you know what, I got to get me a better lawyer. So I started working at different law firms.
How many different law firms?
I don't know, about 6 or 7.
6 or 7 law
big firms.
And what did you do at these different big firms?
I worked from receptionist, paralegal. When you're
saw
in
how
those
law
positions,
firms
you
work.
see how they work. As much as how clients come in and pay their money, it's like you're almost seeing like a number. People don't, sometimes the receptionist might remember you, but it baffles me that the attorney may not remember you. And they're like, "What's your name again?" And you're like, "Okay," and you tell them, and then you try to remind them of your case, and you're like, "But they should know your case. That's what you're paying them for." It wasn't just my experience, it was the experience of working at these firms and seeing clients that come in and what they had to, these clients had to go through.
How did you eventually get your green card?
When I was married again. And
I
got married again. And when I got married again, this was one time I hoped it would work, because, this person was so beautiful. Even women came up to her and said, "You're so beautiful." That's how this beautiful was. But lived in Long Island, and it was rough because this person, we did not get along in the sense where she not only cheated on me on numerous occasions, but I find stuff on phones and phone numbers everywhere. So then when I found out about on your show, I found out by hearing your show on the radio about...
This is before YouTube and Facebook, when I was on the radio show.
Right. When you're on the radio show, and I heard about the show, and I heard about the law, about the battered spouse.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot
Emotional abuse.
Yes, I heard about that, and I was like, wow, I could have known about that when I was in my first marriage. But this time, I have all the proof. I have videotape, I have pictures, I have everything. So I submitted all those stuff, and I filed it myself to immigration.
You still didn't come to me.
Right.
You just listened to me.
I listened to you, but I
didn't
didn't
come
know,
to me.
because you were so out there in that everybody knew about you. You're on the radio a lot, and I'm like, this guy's advertising so much. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'll just go to a private one. And the same lawyer, as in me being somebody who I'm gonna be with you no matter what. If you're my barber, you're gonna be my barber for 10 years. If you're my lawyer, you're gonna be my lawyer for 10 years. But it doesn't work that way all the time, especially with legal stuff. He took forever to even get me a work permit.
So you filed on your own, and then you went to a lawyer to complete the case, and the case got denied.
Before it got denied, I said, you know what? Just in case, let me come and go see this Spar Bernstein. Let me go check him out. And during that time when I went to check you out, the DACA thing came out.
2012.
Yes. And I came to, because you were inviting people to come to the office.
We were doing free seminars.
Free seminars, that's
Right.
what it was. And I came to see, let me go investigate this guy. Because he's just another law firm that I've heard about and I've worked at so many. Let me see if he's one of them. Listen, people, let me tell you, he did not tell me to say this, and nobody can tell me to say what I want to say. When I came here, I came to see what they're about and if they're really as good as they say they are by people I've heard on the street and on what I hear on the radio and so on. So I sat in the back and I saw how he answered people's questions, and he said, look, if I can't help you, I'll tell you right there and then. Just answer these basic questions. He gave them he gave a lady some questions, the lady gave him some answers. He said, speak to this attorney and I'll see you later. He answered a few more questions from other people, and I was like, wow, this guy knows his stuff. One of the things I loved about you, Mr. Bernstein, was that on your radio show, especially when you're speaking to people who call in, you tell them not just the truth, but you tell them what the law is according to what their situation is. And you compare what they're saying, whatever information they give you, you use it to your best knowledge on what they're giving you and what you know of the law. And no matter what any lawyer may want to say, if it's not in accordance to what the law actually is, they can't really help you, because you know what? Immigration still have to obey the law just the same.
Correct.
So once you know the law and you're applying what the person's seeking or what the situation is, you know yes or no if you can help them. And I'm happy to know that you would actually tell them, yes, I can help you. Yes, we can help you. Or you know
and
what?
I said a lot of times in that seminar, no, you can't be helped.
No, you can't be helped.
That's
you
right.
Tell them that.
And you watch this from in the back.
Watch this from the back, and
What
I didn't
happened?
stay long. I noticed that you were even giving out refreshments to some of your clients. I'm like, this never happened unless you're a big high-profile client. That I've seen at investment firms where clients come in and they have the luncheons or breakfast, but these are $1 million
people,
clients.
Right.
No, but
these are working.
But for you to see working class people doing that,
right.
My decision was made up. I got up and I went back to work. I was like, it's a done deal. I know what to do. But before going back to work, I went to the other lawyer that I was dealing with, and I said, you know what? Whatever paperwork you have on me, please, I need them right now. I got them, and the next day after work, I came. Listen to me, people. The consultation fee is the best thing you can do. It's a sacrifice to the right direction. The sacrifice to the right direction.
That's a good saying. Could I use that?
Yes.
It is
You're
a sacrifice to the right direction. I'm authorized. You heard that. Right.
A sacrifice to
so
the right
what did
direction.
we do here at Spar Bernstein to help you?
So after leaving the building, I said how much do I need to pay and everything, and
we refiled
the whole thing.
And you got your work permit right away?
My work permit came quicker than I couldn't believe. I mean, it took so long with the previous attorney that I thought maybe it was going to take that time or longer, being that you guys have so many clients. And I'm like, wow, how did you get it so quickly?
And then you got approved.
Again, Spar Bernsteins go by the law. And when they know the law, they know the facts, and the facts are the truth.
All right, well,
truth is truth.
And you got your green card now.
And I got my green card.
As an abused spouse, by proving extreme emotional abuse and that you're in a bona fide valid marriage.
Yes.
And this was after 30 years. Basically, you were a man without a job after a hurricane in Jamaica.
There was devastation everywhere, nothing.
And it took you 30 years. And in those 30 years, it took you about 25 or 26 years to finally find us.
Yes.
But eventually, you did wait some more period of time, but eventually, today, you are a green card holder, a lawful permanent resident of the United States.
I wish I knew you guys longer.
I wish you. I've been doing this since 1993. You could have come a long time ago. But better late than never. And congratulations, and I appreciate you coming on the show and telling everybody that, what we say, we walk the walk and we talk the talk here.
Yes.
And I appreciate for you to confirm all that.
More than a pleasure.
And
people, listen to me. Spar Bernstein is the place to go. If Spar Bernstein says, give them this for the consultation fee, not only does it goes towards your case, but also it's the, what did I say it was? It's the path to the right direction.
First step. The
first step to the right direction, the consultation fee. So call Spar Bernstein at 1-800-529-5465. And no one told me to say this, all right? Been there, done that.
Thank you very much, Shaine. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, look forward to hearing about your trip back to Jamaica. People are going to forget what you look like, I think.
I believe so. All right.
Thanks for coming on.
A pleasure. Thank you.